Taurus friends, I'm Annie Botticelli, and welcome to my Taurus December 2025 Astrology Horoscope Forecast. As we wind up 2025, we have a massive amount of enthusiasm and positive energy coming from all of this Sagittarius flow, bringing expansion and the quest for freedom. And specifically for Taurus, financial freedom may be on your mind. We'll talk more about that. This report is for you if Taurus is your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or any other Taurus placement you're listening for. What I'm going to talk about here is part of your astrological picture. Very late degree Taurus friends, so birthdays like May 15th through the rest of the sign, or Taurus 23 degree placements through the rest of the sign. I suggest you additionally listen to my Gemini reports, as you late degree Taurani friends will benefit from both readings. Okay, so we've got a lot to cover to help prepare you for the starry stories that will become your month. But first, admin notes. If you don't know me already, hi, I'm Annie Botticelli. I'm an astrologer. I've been doing astrology for around 23 years, teaching for almost all of that time. I write on astrology in various ways, books and blogs. I have my podcast, my YouTube. I have an astrology school. So I'm very much into astrology, and I'm very excited to help you to learn and to understand not just what may happen, but why. Definitely like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. And I will give you some important dates, but if you want more, grab your free monthly star report for December with the sweet and salty dates of the month so that you get more details as to the sweet points and the difficult points as you move along. If you want to learn astrology and it turns out you resonate with how I teach, go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com to see my epic Black Friday promos. You will get well over $2,000 worth of freebies when you register for my astrology certification course at this time. If you've wanted to learn astrology to help yourself, your family, your friends, and if you want to earn money as an astrologer, I can help you with that. I'm giving away almost every promo that I've ever given away all at once in this promo block for Black Friday. So from November 20th through the rest of the month, you can cash in on that. So you can see that at beastropro.com. Okay, so let's get into the goodies. We're going to start talking about the Sagittarius energy because that is dominating the scene. Mercury will get there. Venus is there. Sun, Lilith, Mars, Juno, the new moon on December 19th in Sag. Huge freedom frenzy. People are going to be asking the questions about how are you free? How can you be more free? What is standing between you? And in many cases for Tauruses, it will be financial freedom. Also freedom from toxic relationships with people with money. All right. So we're going to dive very deeply into this because all of these Sag transits are moving through your 8th house of Scorpio, deep financial entanglement with the universe. So money coming out of the blue, sweepstakes, winnings, inheritances, legacy things, investments, loans, debt, taxes, wills, all of that stuff is going to be on your mind. Also on your mind is this topic of financial freedom. And with all of this energy in Sagittarius, many Taurus people are going to wind up having some breakthroughs in the arena of financial freedom, or you will be putting things in motion to get there, or you will be getting news that will change your circumstances in surprising and very, very positive ways financially. Now, Sagittarius energy does not naturally resonate with how Taurus works. It's all over the place. All right. So it's an upward spiral. So the amount of information that may be coming in at this time may be overwhelming. The amount of interaction with people having to do with financial matters may be overwhelming. It also could manifest as you being on a bender for a mystery series. The 8th house also rules in mysteries, both like from the perspective of a book or movies, or like the deep psychological and spiritual mysteries. You may find that you cannot get enough of reading about psychology and spirituality and, deep transformational healing, or working on your inner child or your inner healing or healing trauma. So there are many ways this excess can manifest. And Sagittarius on its own is just ruling excess for sure. Even one Sagittarius placement would rule excess because Jupiter rules Sagittarius, and Jupiter is the ruler of the universe, also known as Zeus, depending on Roman or Greek mythology. So this idea of expansion, of excess is going to be coming up in a big way. Excess spending, excess savings, excess discussions. You know, many of you may go on learning benders. So if you're wanting to study something, this is an amazing time to join a course. If you are a person who wants to bring your teaching out, your moment might be here. This could be what this is all about. Starting December 17th through February 12th, we are in an open period free from personal planets being in retrograde. So that means the tides will be going out. If you are not new to my work and you follow my tidal analogies, December 17th through February 12th is when the tides are going out. Now, November 29th, we had that change where everything was going inward and backward, and you really had to stay on the shore to see what was coming to you rather than trying to launch your boats on incoming tides. But it takes from November 29th until December 17th for that tide to really, truly reverse and start rushing out. So if you've got to plan something big, if you've got to commit to something, if you've got to do something legally, contracts, things that have to do with this money sector, buy, sell important stocks, make investments, get your will penned in unless you have any intuitive inclination. Otherwise, the second half of the month may be better from the contractual standpoint because you'll be free and clear from the Mercury mischief. But the closer you get to the 17th, the more clear it will be. And so it doesn't have to be an exact date that you wait for. You just notice that with every day that passes, things get a little bit more clear. And then through February 12th, you have those tides going out. So your life work going out into the world, your big moves, jobs, launching of business, big purchases, big sales, big events, engagements, weddings, all of that have extra special, awesome energy the second half of December, all of January into almost the first half of February. So that's very exciting. Okay, so it will be overwhelming. It will be excessive. We have to watch out for that. I want to give you some more information about how each of these movements may impact you. All right, so we know that the sun brightens things, it elucidates things, it brings attention to things. So for Taurus, the sun moving in Sagittarius through your 8th house is giving you this call for deep transformation. You're shedding the old attachments, the toxic relationships, the toxic perspectives that were given to you likely by other people to reclaim your personal power. And it is very much about that. So Scorpio is also your opposing house. So Taurus and Scorpio are opposing polarity pair. They're a pair of polarities. And the planets were in Scorpio in November. We've just got Mercury kind of traveling along here. So you've been having these oppositions with planets moving through the sign of Scorpio. But now the planets have moved on into the sign of Sagittarius, but they're in the house of Scorpio. So there's a continuation of the themes that I talked about in the November report with this 8th house focus, because you had the Scorpio focus through the sign. Now you have the Scorpio focus through the house. So if certain things sound like, hey, you talked about that last month, it is purposeful because it's another layer of it now. Okay, before it was all of these planets were moving through Scorpio, the sign. Now the Sag planets are moving through Scorpio, the house, for Taurus. So that's, it's going to be very personal to you. All right, so the sun is helping you to shed these old attachments, reclaim your personal power. We've got Venus there. This is an intensification of intimacy, both romantically, also business, vulnerability, deep conversations. This is this vulnerability that may come up now is this gateway to deeper trust and connection. This also could just represent money, just bringing money to the discussion, bringing money to the table, bringing money to the forefront. Mars here is bringing this passion for better or worse, passion being angst and aggravation, or passion being wonderful sparks flying with these desires for change and for truth and for the renewal of igniting these bold dreams that you have. Sagittarius is the big dream that we have. These are the big vision. So there's a renewal process that's going on here, and the desire to take bold action in a very deep, intimate way. And there has to be this level of emotional IQ as we move through here, not just action for itself, for the sake of it, Okay, so Mercury moving into this space is creating that situation of these conversations about money, about trust or trusts, about emotional truths that can definitely lead to these profound insights and release. As I talked about before, this is a time of freedom seeking. This is a time of liberation. And for many of you, you're going to liberate yourselves. Either you'll get a bunch of money and you'll be liberated from something, or you make a choice to consciously step away from something that has been toxic for you in the way that you're relating to money. So it's a perspective, or setting boundaries in situations where you have combined money or combined financial interests. Juno here ruling partnerships is also bringing this partnership energy in, and this shared resources and the soul bonds. And there's this evolution of these soul bonds. Sometimes you need to take a little bit of space within a soul connection. Sometimes you have to dive deeper, but those questions are going to be asked at this time. And in any case, these partnerships are eventually going to deepen through transparency and through conscious growth and through the conversations that occur now. Lilith is here again, bringing up this discussion of the reclamation of power. Maybe by facing the taboo, it may be by bringing out repressed things, it may be by discussing the elephant in the room, that thing that everyone knows in the family or in the business, but they don't want to talk about. It may be time to bring that out. The honesty about these situations may be part of this liberation process. Then we've got the new moon, a rebirth beginning, new cycles here in intimacy, in joint finances, and self-empowerment are growing from the ashes of the old. So certain things may be ending, and then certain things may be beginning in these arenas. International travel and business and culture and language, writing and publishing, all strongly highlighted with all of this Sagittarius energy. So you may be finding that you're finding resources come to you to help support those missions. Okay, so that new moon is on December 19th, and the days around that, you'll feel that strongly, 28 degrees of Sag, joining that Sag party. Let's talk about December 4th, this full moon in Gemini. So really the first week of the month, we have this building process up until the 4th, and then this sort of like coming down from this elucidation. It is a super moon again. This is the third super moon in a row, October, November, December. More fullness, more completion, more fruition, more gravitational effects, bigger moon visually. And this is all on the topic of communication, because Gemini rules communication. Could be interactions with family members. Also, we already know with these financial ties, there may be family members, aunts, uncles, cousins, legacy types of situations coming up. And the Gemini full moon is also telling us that these people may be part of the process at this point. Important conversations may be happening all month, but there's also a special point of things coming out into the open in that first week. Now, specifically for Taurus, a full moon in Gemini accentuates your money house from the earned income perspective. So you've got the other people's money shared resource house highlighted in a huge way from all the Sag placements, but then you also have the full moon bringing to fruition values, self-worth, revealing what truly sustains you and if your actions are in alignment with those truths. A financial matter involving self-esteem or self-worth may come up. It can culminate, and it can help you to release scarcity thinking, and it is a mentality. Scarcity thinking can definitely be taught, which is why it's perpetuated throughout families who are in that situation. You can use education, information, and deep inner healing to change your perspectives and change your life. And there may be information that comes to you about this. If you had a difficult time, you were impoverished in your childhood, and you stepped into a life of not barely having enough, if at all, this could be a time where you start to change the script. You flip the script and you start changing what you are pulling in, healing what has been broken within your financial perspectives, and opening up to anchor in a new confidence to be able to create the things that you need for you and your family. On the topic of Gemini related things going on, let's just also remember that Jupiter is still moving through Cancer. It is in retrograde now, so there is a little bit of a lull from the expansion perspective, but it's moving through Taurus's third house of Gemini. So you've got a year-long story of expansion from June 2025 into June 2026, this whole year is about trying to increase your voice, about trying to build relationships or rebuild relationships with your relatives, about you getting your writing project out, about you having your heart song be released upon the world, vibrating loudly with your magical heart song. And with Jupiter in retrograde, you may be getting things ready to bring out. You may be rethinking some things. You may be healing something deeply on the inside so that you are ready to share what you have been working on. We've got 9 beautiful aspects this month, which I tell you more about in that star report that you can grab for free at anniehelpsyou.com. And we've got double that of salty aspects. So you definitely want to check out that report to see what the heck's going on. But I am going to tell you the most powerful of those aspects is Jupiter making a square with Chiron. Incidentally, it's also making a square with Eris because they are conjunct, Chiron and Eris. And this has been going on for months. It will culminate again on December 21st. And this is feeding into this story of woundedness for your autonomy, your individual voice to be expressed. So there is something very deep going on here from the healing perspective, and you may have a chance to confront this topic. Unfortunately, during holiday time, it may come out when holiday is gathered, your family is gathered at the holiday time. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be something bad. It doesn't have to be a blow up, but it could be. And this is a point of tension. So either way, it will help clear the air. And the more you are aware of this possibility before it happens, the more you may be able to modify your part of it to try to help it to be healing and not hurting. Okay, so anniehelpsyou.com to get your free December monthly star report with my sweet and salty dates. I also go way into this square that I was just telling you about. If you want personalized reports, so you want to see what is up in 2026 and beyond from the outer planet perspective, these long transits that we don't always talk about a lot in horoscopes because they don't change very quickly, go to anniebclarity.com, Annie the letter B, clarity.com to see your personalized outer planet transit report from me. And if you want to learn astrology, if part of this crazy Sagittarius bender study thing that's going on here has to do with astrology for you, then definitely check this out because it is such a comprehensive program that teaches astrology as the language it is. I am a multilingual linguist and I teach astrology as it is a language building from the ground up to your fluency. So go to beastropro.com, beastropro.com, and cash in on my thousands of dollars worth of free epic Black Friday promo goodness from November 20th through the end of November. I hope you have a wonderful end of your month. I hope you have a wonderful end of the year. And I'll see you next month. I'll see you next year. Bye for now.